for
Okay.
it.
I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
No, thanks to you, Robert. It is a pleasure to be here with you.
Our pleasure, man.
I wanted to ask you first, right off the bat, about Square One and what the title means to you.
Well, square one, as you know, means that we are starting something that is something that you are in the starting line of something, and it does. Despite of what everybody thinks, it doesn't have to do with the band, but with myself. I'm the one who wrote that lyric, and it has to be with a personal matter I had. A difficulty I have with the stage. I was like frightened of going off stage, and I had to I had to re-educate myself and fall back in love with my instrument and reteach myself to see things different way. Actually, it had to do with music, but it also kind of have to do with life. John knows this very well because he's like my brother and he knows me maybe too well. and and yeah, when we were in the process of making this album, Jonja came to me and said, "Dude, I like how the album is working out. We have powerful lyrics, we have good songs, but I believe there's something missing, man. I believe we need a title for the album and a title song and something very powerful." And I said, "Don't worry, my king. This is mine to take." So I wrote this huge lyric, like almost like a small tale, with his with a start, with a middle and a finish and everything. And yeah, and I said, "Do your thing with this lyric," and he composed this truly beautiful song. Uh, a little bit kind of with a tasty progressive kind of thing, without losing the heavy essence.
Sure.
That yeah, it ended up being the title track.
And I wanted to ask you as well, and going back into working on an album again, were there any changes in the way you approached recording this time?
Giorgio, that's for you.
Well, not many changes, I would say, but most of the changes are due to our maturity. I mean, time has passed by, and we are better musicians, even better persons in general sense. So we know how to deal with each other, with our relationship with music, with the composition process, and so on. So, as you know, there is nothing written in stone about composing music, but we usually follow the classic process of me being the guitar player and also the producer, starting with a scratch song with a scratch structure, and then I give it to the guys, and then the guys give it back to me, and then the lyrics are written and so on. There are some exceptions. There are, for example, this song Square One, which was started composing by the lyrics. So it was starting with the lyrics, and then the music came by after. But then there is other song in this album, which is Speed and Rave, which started as a drum intro, and that drum intro was cool enough to make me do other things and then give it back to the guys and so on. So the composition process is very random sometimes.
And I also wanted to speak with you about Nightwalker. The song is very catchy and very one that once you listen to it, I found myself humming it all day long. I wanted to ask how that one came to you.
Well, that was one of the first songs that we composed for this album. I don't know if it was the very first one. The two first songs were Crown of Stars and Nightwalker. But Nightwalker came from a scratch idea that I give to the guys, and then Sele, who is the singer, came back to me with some lyrics that he wrote years ago that they were even for other band. But she was inspired by this structure and chords and thing that I did. So she immediately uh, uh, recapture those lyrics that were written some years ago and adapted to Rave In Fire. So Yeah, that song was also very unusual to compose.
And the album artwork is amazing. I wanted to ask you if you could speak on the idea behind it and also the artist that was involved in it.
Yes. The idea came out because if you watch if you take a look at our previous album, you can see our mascot Lizardo in
Mm,
a bar playing kind of a futuristic game with a lot of strange animals and in a like in a parallel universe where animals are persons and in a not so distant future, you know, a little bit a cyberpunk thing
yes.
with yes. So we said, what if this time the Lizardo like goes out of the bar and just walks the street like it was a continuation
Mm,
of the previous artwork, and you can see in that artwork there are many details, not as much as in Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden, but something similar. It's
sure.
it, it's a great inspiration for us that artwork. Absolutely, it also has this cyberpunk 80s thing that is super cool. And you can see there are some details, like for example, you can see stars in the sky, which refer to crown of stars. You can see that in the walls of the street there are heads of the crocodile, which are a reference to Speed and Rave.
Mm,
That song, despite of its title, it talks about religion and idolatry and this kind of stuff. It's like the if the Lizardo was a kind of god, and you know, and also you can see in the there's the in the how would you say, in the neons and the ¿cómo se dice
Yeah.
carteles, Jones?
In the panels, in the signs.
mm.
In the signs, yeah, the signs are written in a strange, in a kind of a strange alphabet. We let the listeners
Figure out.
the quest to discover what it is, and it's a reference to places we've been through these years, and places we have played at, and some experiences, some amazing experiences that we have lived through the years that in between Sons of Alliance and Square One. So yeah, it's a pretty complete artwork. And the artist, she's Tao Fernandez. She's a tattoo artist as well. I have three
Ah,
tattoos of her, and I have three tattoos and two artworks. So it's kind of my my reference artist. And yeah, we reached out and we said, "Hey, we're coming with a new album. Are you interested?" And she said, "Let's go for it." We gave her the idea. She gave us a few um, scratches, and we
mhm.
said, "This one, let's go for it."
And another track I wanted to discuss is Untiring Eagles. I wanted to ask if you could tell me how those lyrics came to you.
Well,
Those one are from Cele, I believe.
yeah.
No, I believe no. I know. I don't know if we know the meaning. Do you know anything, John?
No. I mean, I know about the first idea of the song, which was the whole complete bunch of riffs, of guitar riffs and so on, which was an idea that I had for many years and so on. So I wanted to recover that idea. Then we had to figure out which was the best structure and drum parts and everything to put it all back together. So at first we weren't very sure about that song. We thought that that song was going to be discarded, but at the end it was like a banger. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of our favorite songs, and playing that song live is something that is very enjoyable. People go
Yeah.
crazy with that song.
We
But
did. We
about
didn't.
the lyrics,
Sorry.
about the lyrics, I don't know. I think that it was a very natural inspiration by Cele just by listening to that powerful music, just saying that we are untiring eagles, flying free, and all these kind of things.
Yeah,
We,
to me it resonates as an inspiration to keep going, to keep pushing forward. And that's one of the things I loved about the lyrical content of it was that it's like to never give up the fight.
Exactly.
absolutely.
You have to think about that. We like to put our heart out in our lyrics. So for us, our lyrics are kind of a very personal thing about the things that we go through in life, as Jimmy said with Square One, but also for Cele. There is a lot of personal information in those lyrics, or it is a kind of public diary for us. So in that sense, Cele, for example, this kind of this band, all the heavy metal is a kind of thing to leave all the negative thoughts out, and I think that that's a very important inspiration for her.
And you've created an amazing album from top to bottom, my friends. I wanted to ask you, were there any cuts that didn't make the album?
No,
Yeah.
actually not. Everything came out very, very naturally, and we take a look back, and we are kind of amazed and of how everything went so fluid and so natural. There are songs that and or parts of song that are mainly improvisations, you know, improvisation, and it's just like that's it. It's no more. Maybe "Entire Eagles" is the only one song that took a few
More iterations
spins and yes,
to figure
modification
out.
stuff. And we didn't know. We don't have any idea that was left behind. No,
Wow.
everything was natural. If we have any idea, no, I believe Junja is working on some new ideas. I have some lyrics, some concepts in my head that could make a song, but not. No, everything in Square One is genuine, and we went with everything.
Yeah,
And
in fact, about the improvisations and so on, fun
mm,
fact, but many times I do improvise a lot of the solos and riffs and so on, and then I have to learn that after because I don't know what I did. So it is also a hard job for me to figure out what I did to learn it for live situations.
sure, I remember an interview with the late Ace Frehley. He said he would, when he's working on a solo album the first time, he just went in and started jamming, and he'd have someone come and say, please write this down because I don't know what I just did.
Exactly, I totally feel that.
And now the album's out, what's the next step for you?
Well, we don't want to make big plans and try to. We didn't want to have a calendar with objetivos,
Objectives, yeah, to
objectives and
targets.
Mhm.
targets exactly with specific targets. We want to see how the album works out, and from then trying to get out of the playing outside of the country, playing outside of Madrid, and so on. But we don't have targets like, oh, for next summer we have to play in Austria, Germany, and
Sure.
Portugal. No, it was not that way. We want to as fluid as natural and as fluid as the album came out. We want everything to come out naturally and not being completely obsessed of going somewhere, you know. We maybe with this approach we are not giving everything we can to to perform everywhere and so, but we live more calmly. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
everything that comes out, we are very happy, and we will embrace it, even if it's 100 people or 10,000 people. You know what I mean? We just
Absolutely.
made sold out in two cities of Spain, in Zaragoza and Barcelona, last weekend, and we are presenting the album in our hometown in Madrid at the end of March. And yeah, and we are planning maybe some gig in November, but we can't confirm anything. And yeah, and so we are working with that right now.
Yeah, but having said that, it is also important to notice that we are also very open to any kind of
Good
proposals.
point.
Yeah, we are very open. So if someone wants to take us anywhere, we are also very happy to listen to offers, managers, bookers, whatever, because of course we are very eager to play somewhere else rather than Spain. So
In fact, I believe this is the third or the fourth interview that we do with a media from the United States. We believe that the album is making. We are shipping to the United States a lot of albums.
that's true.
I know USA is very big, so maybe we have a listen in the state of Washington, another one in California, another one in Texas, and another one in South Dakota. We know we know it's very big, but we believe that the US maybe not as far as we think. So yeah, if any promoter in the United States or any club or something wants to arrange a tour, we are more than happy of crossing the Atlantic and finally get to the birthplace of rock and roll.
Absolutely. I'm fortunate enough to be in the state where the phrase was first said. The
Is it so?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, Ohio. There's a radio host. His name was Alan Freed. He's the first man to say rock and roll.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. We didn't know. We have to go to Ohio, my friend.
I wanted to ask you as well about the album and what's the best way to get a physical copy of it and merchandise that you have.
Well,
Okay.
that's a little bit difficult because right now the how do you say aranceles? The taxes,
The
the
taxes.
ta-
Mhm.
the taxes, the shipping taxes have changed from one year to another, so we have to update that. But you can either order the album via High Roller Records, which is our distributor, or via Bandcamp for our band. So you have several options to ship that.
And if High Roller Records has done its homework, which we believe they have, no, we know they have, your local dealer should be able to get the record for you.
Oh,
I,
excellent.
I wouldn't say it's going to be cheap because it comes from Europe, but it's available through our Bandcamp and through High Roller Records, and it should be through your local dealer. You can get the album. It's not difficult, and there are many copies. It should be worldwide without much problem.
And I wanted to ask you if you could take me back in time and tell me how your musical career started.
Oh, my musical career started when I was 11, and I started playing piano in the conservatory. So my first musical career was very classical and very elitist and very posh in that sense. So then I found out that if I played the guitar, I was able to get more girls. So at 16, I started playing classical guitar, and at 17, I started to play electric guitar, which is my main instrument now, but I can play several ones. And for you?
Me, my fathers commit the recklessness of getting a drum set when I was 4 or 5 years old, but it wasn't for me. It was for my older sister. And we lived in a flat and an apartment in Madrid. Don't believe we lived in one of these big American houses in the suburbs. No, not at all. We lived in the center of Madrid, and they came up and they appeared as in Christmas with a drum set in it. Are you out of your mind? And I believe it was my father who really wanted to play a little bit with the drums. But yeah, I ended up picking the instrument, doing a little bit of jamming and very simple things. And around 13 years or so, I went a little bit further. I started playing a little bit of AC/DC, a little bit of Metallica, this kind of stuff, a little bit of Megadeth. By my 15 or so, I played with my first band, a little bit of Nirvana, all the classics, classic rock and roll, very simple things. And yeah, when I was a year after that, I took my first lessons with my master Andy Cobos, drummer for Saratoga and for Ronnie Romero. Um, and yeah, and from that point, it went a little bit further, and here I am now with an electric drum set in my studio at home, so I can play a little bit and preparing the songs for rehearsal with my friends, and yeah, having fun, always having fun.
And lastly, my friends, I wanted to ask you, if you could give a message to your fans, what message would you give them?
Thank you for listening to us. We feel honored. We feel honored that people that we don't know from everywhere in the world are reaching to us and saying, "Hey, your music rocks." That's absolutely amazing. We wouldn't thought of that. You thought of that, but you never realized. That it can happen. Yeah, when it comes, it's much more than you would have imagined. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Keep supporting the metal scene, the young bands, and your local heavy metal bar, because we are almost at the edge of extinction, and we have to keep it up, and not only with other genres, but also with AI and this kind of stuff, like live music and real experience and true rock and roll it's in danger. We have to protect it, man. We have to take a step forward and say, hey, we want this, and we need to support the real deal, So
Right,
yeah,
absolutely.
let's go for it.
And what's very sad to me is that, rock and roll and heavy metal is resurging in the States, but it took passing of great artists to get that surge in the music. And it was so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah,
It took Ozzy to pass to make people realize that, hey, metal is still alive and well and hasn't gone anywhere.
absolutely.
I wanted to take a moment to thank you personally for creating an album that I enjoyed from top to bottom. I look forward to what lies ahead for you. It made me go back and listen to your old catalog, and it just brought me such joy to hear the great things that you're doing.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Robert. Our pleasure.
Thank you, my friends, and please keep in touch with me with any new news as it comes about. That way I can bring it to my fans.
Will do
Absolutely,
so.
we will.
You take care, my friends. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank
You
you,
too, man.
Robert.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.